Okay, in the next couple of weeks I'd like to go through a little bit of the sugya of Birchas HaPeiros. In the Gemara it's called Birchas HaPeiros, but it's really the bracha of all food that we eat. The different brachas that we make. And a lot of complication, especially in today's world, where they make so many different things, and a lot of shilas come up, what bracha do you make on which food? So I'd like to in the next couple of weeks go through a few of the big shilas that come up with the gay Birchas HaPeiros. So, but this week I'm going to start off with a little bit of akdama to understand what a bracha is. What is a bracha? We make a bracha before we eat. What is it? Why do we make a bracha before we eat? And then we'll go into what bracha is on what. There's another shilah of bracha achronis. Mendel had a big shilah yesterday.
Two shilas, right? It was great, you know.
Two shilas? Yeah, it's really one shilah.
No, two.
One is permission, one is to thank you.
I daven plug a mincha.
Yeah, the question is someone davened yesterday. Yesterday was Chodesh.
Oh, it's great, right.
Someone davened Ma'ariv by plug mincha Ma'ariv. So you daven Ma'ariv, and you come home, and it's still light outside.
I had some cake.
And you sat down, you have some cake, or you wash, and you bench, and it's still light outside. Do you say Yal V'Yova you're benching or not?
Isn't it the same thing with Shabbos? That would be the same thing with Shabbos.
Here's
You're bringing Shabbos in early.
Yeah, here's the opposite.
The opposite.
Here's
Too chav,
so the halacha is.
My question was even more. I didn't want to bench till after it became dark.
Right.
Yeah,
so it's a double question. I started.
Yeah.
It's not even if can you bench. You have to wait sometimes. No. You have to wait. Your question Shabbos?
No. So
this
this question's going to come up now in the summer a lot. Even on if someone davens the plug mincha ma'ariv on erev Rosh Chodesh, he daven ma'ariv, he comes home. It's not Rosh Chodesh yet. It's still light outside. He comes home, and as you say, Yal V'Yova you're benching. So the halacha is once you daven ma'ariv, it's whatever the day is after ma'ariv. Meaning, if let's say it's erev Rosh Chodesh, you daven ma'ariv, you're going to say Yal V'Yova in ma'ariv, even though it's light outside. When you go home and you eat, and you're going to bench, even if it's still light outside, you're going to say Yal V'Yova.
Because you've accepted it.
Because you daven, not really you accepted it. That's really bordering.
Okay.
Because that's, I don't want to say because accepted it, because on erev Shabbos, everyone agrees, because you could accept Shabbos early, and now it's ready Shabbos. But on Rosh Chodesh you can't do that. So even if it's not because you accepted Rosh Chodesh, it's more of a reason because once you daven Ma'ariv and you say Yal V'Yova in Ma'ariv, you can't go ahead now and bench and not say Yal V'Yova, because you're contradicting yourself. That's the reason. The main thing you have to remember is these questions come up, and in a year from now you can say, "One second, I remember we spoke about him and what he said." The main thing you have to remember is that you can't contradict yourself. That's the main thing you have to remember. So if you davened Ma'ariv last night, even though you came home, it's still Rosh Chodesh, you bench, you don't say Yal V'Yova. Even though it's still Rosh Chodesh, you do not say Yal V'Yova, because you daven Ma'ariv. Once you daven Ma'ariv, you can't contradict yourself anymore.
So what you're doing, in fact, by davening earlier, you've lost out on a bracha.
Yeah. You haven't lost out on a bracha. It's Yal V'Yova.
So that's something, no?
No. Yeah, that was a score. It's not a bracha in itself. It's a mentioning of Rosh Chodesh.
You said that Rosh Chodesh Av.
Yeah.
Right. Meat. So if you said Yal V'Yova,
eating meat.
According to what you just said, then you should be eating meat.
Correct. Afterwards.
Even if it's light outside.
Even if it's light outside.
But I think you can. I think you can.
Yeah, that's the whole question. I had a machlokes about this last year. Yeah. There's a lot of different questions to come up. Today I just want to give akdama to Hilchos Brachos. I will start with the Gemara in Ketzad Mevorchim. The Gemara starts off in how do we know you have to make a bracha before you eat? How do we know? Where do we know it from? So the Gemara says after you eat to make a bracha, it's a pasuk v'achalta v'savata uverachta. It's a pasuk that after you eat, you full, and you bench uverachta. So after you finish eating, everyone agrees it's a mitzvah d'oraisa. It's a chiyuv to bench after you eat. And the difference would be, if you're not sure if you benched or not, maybe suffix d'oraisa l'chumra. Right? That's afterwards. Before you eat, the Gemara says, how do we know you have to make a bracha before you eat? So the Gemara goes through, maybe you learn it from after we eat. At the end, the Gemara says, Svarahu, it's a svara that you have to bench before you eat. Because also the Adam Shehanim and Olam Hazeh V'loi Bracha. A person can't have any enjoyment from this world without making a bracha. So that's the Maskana. So Gemara, the reason why you make a bracha before you eat is because also lahanes min ha'olam hazeh b'lei bracha. You're not allowed to be nana from this world. You can't have any enjoyment unless you make a bracha beforehand.
Did you say that if you're not sure, if you bench, you do bench or you don't bench?
Right. Afterwards, maybe you have to bench because some brachas. There's the stuff with their rice.
But what's the bottom line? You do, you don't.
You do.
You do.
Yeah. That's afterwards.
There's so many enjoyments in life.
Every enjoyment.
You can't make a bracha on every enjoyment.
It's not true. Rayach, you smell something, you have to make a bracha on it.
You're sitting in a convertible going in the middle of an ocean or whatever.
That's not enjoyment.
Better not say a bracha. That is a tefillah derech.
Yeah, there's brichas and nenin. There's tons of brichas and nenin. There's lots of brichas and nenin. So you can't be nenin olam hazeh b'lei bracha. That's what the Gemara says. And then the Gemara says, nenin olam hazeh b'lei bracha mo'al. It's like me'ila. Me'ila means you take a carbon, you're not allowed to use it, and you use it, you're mo'al. So here's a big machlokes in the Rishonim. What does it mean that it's a svara you have to make a bracha before you eat? The Gemara says, it says in the pasuk, L'Shem ha'aretz ha'mloyeh, and it says, Hashemayim Hashemayim L'Shem, V'oretz nasan levnei Adam. Right? It says that Hashem gave the earth to us, and then it says, L'Shem ha'aretz ha'mloyeh, it belongs to Hashem. So which one is it? Is the Oretz Hashem's or is it ours? So says the Gemara, like Kasher, kan koy de bracha, kan la'achar bracha. Once before the bracha, once after the bracha. And then the Gemara says, Amar Reb Chanina bar Papa, kol anena min ha'olam hazeh b'lei bracha, ke'ilu goizel ha'kadosh Baruch Hu. If someone eats something without making a bracha, it's as if you're stealing from Hashem. Ke'ilu goizel ha'kadosh Baruch Hu, it's if you're stealing from Hashem.
It makes it a permission.
So what does it mean, as if you're stealing from Hashem? What are you stealing from Hashem? Are you stealing the food from Hashem? So the Pashtus, the Gemara is mashma, if you eat without a bracha, the food, it says, Hashem ha'aretz ha'mloyeh. Hashem owns the earth, it's to him. Right. Then it says, V'oretz nasan levnei Adam. Hashem gave it to us. Once before the bracha, and once after the bracha. So if you're holding before the bracha, who does it belong to? Hashem. If you're holding after the bracha, who does it belong to? To you. So basically, if you don't make a bracha and you eat it, why are you stealing from Hashem? Because that food still belongs to Hashem. And that's the way the Ritva learns over there. The Ritva says, you're stealing, what are you stealing? How can you take something that doesn't belong to you? It belongs to Hashem. That's what the Ritva says.
So why suffer bracha will happen?
Oh, that's a long time to go.
Bracha is a form of kinyan?
That's a very, very good question. Yeah, that's what today's show is about.
Because we're not sure if you...
Yeah, we got to it. Okay.
So bracha is a form of kinyan?
Yes, correct. Correct. The way the Ritva is learning, bracha is a form of kinyan. You're kind of the food. You make a bracha, you're just kind of the food. Hashem gives it to you.
It's kind of like
paying for it. It's like paying for it. You go to a grocery store, there's something on the shelf, it's not yours. You pay for it, then it's yours. Before you pay for it, you eat it, you're a gosling. After you pay for it, you eat it, it's yours. Yeah? Same thing with the bracha. Rashi says one word over here. Rashi says, the goyzel ha'kadosh Baruch Hu, how are you stealing from Hashem? Says Rashi, es bir chasai. You're stealing from Hashem his bracha. That's what Rashi says. What are you stealing? You're stealing the bracha from Hashem. That's a whole different thing. And the Mashah says, I don't understand what Rashi is saying that for. It's a very simple pshat. You're stealing from Hashem the food. The food belongs to Hashem. If you don't make a bracha, you're stealing the food from Hashem. Rashi doesn't say that. Rashi says, what are you stealing from Hashem? You owe Hashem a bracha. If you eat without making a bracha, you're stealing that bracha from Hashem. So be according to Rashi, the food you're not stealing. If you eat without a bracha, do you steal the food? No. Hashem wants a bracha from you before you eat. If you don't make the bracha, you're stealing the bracha from Hashem.
It's even more. I think when you make a bracha, you're elevating the world. You're not making that one bracha, that world is losing out.
So that's the next. I didn't read the next word in the Gemara. The Gemara says, "Kilu goydel HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'knesses Yisrael." And Klal Yisrael. Why? What's the steal from Klal Yisrael? Because if you make brachas, then the world gets elevated. And Hashem gives bracha and ashpois on the world. That's the Knesset Yisrael. So that here we see the Ritva and other Rishonim. The Marsha says it also like the Ritva, that you're stealing the food that you're eating. Rashi says you're stealing what? You're stealing the bracha. What's the difference between Rashi and the Ritva? There's a very big difference. The difference is what Mendel said before. If someone has a suffix, if he made a bracha or not. Someone has a suffix, is that sure? Taisus brings down a bracha, tafid beis. If someone has a suffix, if he made a bracha or not, for Pirsha Ba'alfas Hashta, the Lo Ifshatu Ba'ayin, we don't know. Someone started off with making a bracha on wine, and they ended up making a bracha on sheikhar. So what's the halacha? The suffering of the Gemara says Taisus over there that the Ba'alfas, the Riv holds that if you have a suffix, azlina lekula, and therefore you don't make a bracha anymore. Why? Because the suffix brachas the hakol. Suffix dirabanan. A bracha beforehand is a dirabanan. By suffix dirabanan, we would go lekula. So I have a suffix. I made a bracha. I'm not sure if I made the right bracha or not. I have a suffix. Says Taisvis, suffix brachas lahakol. Don't make a bracha, and you continue eating. Taisvis says that. V'ri hayaymir l'chumra. The sarich levarech pamacheres. The Ri says no. You go l'chumra. If you have a suffix, if you made a bracha or not, if you made the right bracha or not, you have to go ahead and make another bracha. Why? Suffix bracha is l'chumra. The question is why? You know, a bracha is the Rabbana. And every Rabbana we say suffix the Rabbana l'kula. So why is the Ri hold that you have to go ahead and make another bracha? Says the Kiveg over there, and that Tosfos, but this depends on how you learn, like Rashi or like the Ritva. If you learn that if you don't make a bracha, you're stealing. So if you have a suffix, if you made a bracha or not. So what are you going to say? Suffix bracha is lahakol. What do you mean? I'm not sure if I made a bracha. I want to go eat something. You're stealing.
So Kedeva is a Torah?
Kedeva is a deraisa. Kedeva is a deraisa. How could you go ahead and steal something? Right? So how can you say suffix brachas lahakol? If it's gezela, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to eat this thing or not. If it's a suffix deraisa, suffix gezela. Therefore, says Tosfos, you have to make a bracha.
This might be a little bit of a weird question, but could you possibly say that this kind of gezela is midrabanan? It sounds a bit weird to say that, but like gezela, this formulation of gezela is like a drasha in Chazal. It's not really.
It's from Sukkot.
So there's an asmach.
Okay, you could say that.
Okay,
you could say that, but Tosfos obviously is saying that it's chumrah for a reason.
Yeah.
It can't be a mamash gezela because you don't take from Hashem something that Hashem needs. It's like you take something from me that I don't need. I'm a vater completely. I don't put any value on it.
No, but if you have no value in it, but you're not a vater in it, I'm still stealing. Let's say something you don't need, and you're not going to use it and it's yours.
Hashem is bevater because not
No, he's not. No, but he's not. He says only if you make a bracha. Hashem's not mevater. If you don't make a bracha, Hashem's mevater.
The pasuk doesn't say that.
Huh?
The pasuk says.
Yeah, the pasuk says you have to make a
bracha.
Right, Hashem oretzim loya. It says only after a bracha of oretz lasan of without the bracha, Hashem never gave it to us. So it's stealing. Says the Kivega, that's trying to with suffix brachas lechumra, because you're stealing. You're stealing something. You're not allowed to go ahead and steal something. You have a suffix if you're stealing. If you have a suffix if you're stealing, you have to go ahead and make a bracha.
So it's not so bad if you made a bracha. If you're not sure.
We'll get to it in a second. That's the Kivega. That's Tosfos. The Meister, we paskin that if someone has a suffix, if you made a bracha or not, suffix brachas lahagol we paskin. We paskin you don't make another bracha and you continue eating.
What you should do in that case is have another thing and make a bracha over that, right?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, but you could say it's a svek.
No, but what's that going to help you?
What do you mean why?
We don't have another thing. The same bracha.
You have something that I didn't have in mind.
Let's eat something else.
Right.
Okay. Orange. Then you go back into the fridge and pull out an orange and make a bar pre-ace, no?
Yeah, but you made
it's something whether you're supposed to make a bracha on that. So this way you make a bracha and then.
No, you didn't have in mind the orange when you made the bracha.
No, you didn't have that in mind.
Something else, because you had it in mind. You can't make a bracha. Yeah. And get somebody else to help you out. Yeah, the we hold Suffolk brachas lahakol.
In this situation, what couldn't you say it's a fake sveka and you should make a bracha?
No, that's how we paskin. We paskin Suffolk brachas lahakol. Sveka, you can't take a suffix of how we paskin, a different shita. It's not a sveka.
We just said that in Spiritual Omer.
No, because we have a suffix how we paskin.
Oh, I see.
Here we have a suffix how we paskin. We paskin Suffolk brachas lahakol. In Spiritual Omer, it's a suffix how we paskin. Is it one long thing or not?
Oh, I see. Okay.
We're not sure how we paskin. Here we show how we paskin.
Okay.
Now that we show how we paskin, you can't say that some people hold that that some brachas l'chumra, so there's a suffix. Maybe you have to.
Okay.
Yeah. But the Kiveg is a very interesting thing here, and this is a little bit of a chap. Kiveg says like this: he brings down a Magen Avram. As the Magen Avram says, if you took a kaishal sheikh mayim, Baruch Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, Baruch Piagafen. You realize you made a mistake. What's the halacha? You're not sure if you're or not.
What should you say? Maybe
you should have said a shahakol.
You thought it was wine.
Yeah,
so it was wine.
Wine covers everything.
So the Magen Avram brings down over here that we all suffix will say suffix brachas lahakol, and you're okay. You don't make another bracha. Says the Kivega, it's not so pashut. It says like this. It's a very interesting chap. So if someone goes ahead and he has a fruit in front of him, he doesn't remember, did I make a bracha or did I not make a bracha? He doesn't know at all. I'm not sure if I made a bracha at all. Right? I'm not sure if I made any bracha at all. So now, you want to go ahead and eat the fruit. You're going to make a bracha. Maybe it's a bracha lebatal. Right? If you say suffix brachas lekula, you don't make a bracha. If you say suffix brachas lechumra, says the Kivegi, you're stuck. Because you're not allowed to eat it because you're stealing. You may be stealing. Elamai, why are you going to say, go make another bracha? Maybe it's a bracha lebatal. How could you go make another bracha with suffix? Says the Kivegi, in such a situation, if you're not sure if you made a bracha or not, says the Kivegi, you're stuck. Nothing you can do better now.
Go to sleep.
Yeah? Or get somebody else. What? If you go to Chumrah. If you go to Chumrah.
But you can't go to Chumrah.
No, so Kivega says, in this case, maybe you will go to Chumrah. Maybe in this case, Papatzka to Chumrah. When do we say Safek Brachas Lahakol? We find in the place when we say Safek Brachas Lahakol, says that Kivega it's only in a different case. What's the case? I have something in front of me. I'm not sure if I made the right bracha or not. I made a bracha, but I'm not sure if I made the right bracha or not. I have an apple. I'm not sure, did I make a ace or did I make a mezainis? I'm not sure. I don't know what I did. And I stand there with the apple in front of you. Now, what are you going to do? Could you bite into the apple or not? Could you bite into the apple? Says the Kivega like this. You have to hold cup for this. Says the Kivega like this. Says the Kivega, the monavshich, you can have a bracha levatala anyway. The monavshich is stuck. Right? It's sad, maybe I have bracha levatala. Why? Let's say I made the right bracha. Right? And I'm sitting here with the fruit. But if I made the wrong bracha, right? I'm sitting here with the fruit, I didn't eat it yet. If you're not going to eat the fruit, you have a bracha levatala. Because you made a bracha and you're not eating it. So right away you have bracha levatala.
If you don't eat it.
If you don't eat it. If you don't eat it.
If you're sure you made the bracha.
Only if you're sure you made a bracha, but you're not sure you made the right bracha. If you're sure you made a bracha, but you're not sure you made the right bracha. So I know for sure I made a bracha. I don't know if I made the right bracha. So now you know for sure you made a bracha. You have this fruit in front of you. You're not going to eat it. Then you're for sure have a bracha levatala.
You got to move quick also. You can't wait 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, you can't go ask the rabbi.
You can't wait like 2 seconds.
You can't wait. You can't go ask the rabbi. You have to know. These things you got to know offhand. You know.
No, if you know that you made the bracha, you're yotzi.
You're not sure you made the right bracha.
Maybe you made the wrong bracha.
Maybe it was like this. You're not sure.
Mezorah.
Yeah.
No.
We'll get to Eitz Shachal in a second.
Well, that's why you have to know the halacha.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. At the end of the show, I want to show you the importance of getting the right bracha.
Knowing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Knowing what to do.
Knowing what to do, yeah. That's the Akdamish here. I want to make sure you understand how important it is to make sure you get the right bracha.
Or to know what you do if you made the wrong bracha.
Yeah, also. So you're sitting there, you made a bracha, you're not sure if you made the right bracha or not. So you're not going to make any bracha now. You definitely have a bracha levatala here. You have vadai bracha levatala. You made a bracha, and you're sitting there with a fruit in front of you, and you're not eating it. So what should you do? Go now and make the right bracha. Go now and make the right bracha. Now, if you make the right bracha, if originally it was the wrong bracha, right, so you're good. Now you're making the right bracha. If originally it was the right bracha, and you're making again the same bracha, says Rabbi Kivega, so now you have a bracha levatala, the second one. Right? That means if it was originally was the wrong bracha, and now you're making the right bracha, so the original bracha was the bracha levatala. Says Rabbi Kivega, if you're going to stop where you are now and not do anything, you have a vada bracha levatala for sure. If you make another bracha, you're not going to get any worse. You'll stay with a vada bracha levatala. You'll stay with a vada bracha levatala like you were till now.
But you've gotten out of Mila from Hashem.
But you gotta have Mila.
Yeah.
Right? You stay with a vada bracha levatala. Means before you eat, before you make another bracha, you stand there with the fruit in front of you. You have a vada bracha levatala because either you made the wrong bracha or the right bracha. You're not going to eat the fruit.
If you put the fruit down and walk away, also you're in the same position.
Right. If you put the fruit down and walk away, you have one bracha levatala for sure.
And also you have
if you make a new bracha, you have, right, if you make a new bracha,
maybe
same position.
Maybe if you're
going to be worse off.
You're not going to be worse off. You still start with one bracha levatala.
You can't fix it though.
You can't fix it.
You can't make it perfect.
No.
You can't make it
no
perfect.
way to make it perfect.
There is
what?
Because maybe the bracha you made was good enough for the one you should have made. If you make a bracha,
let's say you made the right bracha, right?
Let's say you made the wrong. Let's say you make a bracha. See, there's certain things. For instance, if you make a mezainis, right?
No, I'm talking about either it's for sure the wrong bracha or.
How do you know that?
I don't know what I made. I mean, I'm not sure.
So maybe the bracha you made would be
fine.
even though it's the wrong bracha.
But that's called the right bracha. That's called the right bracha. Then if you yates, it's called the right bracha.
It's contingent on remembering what that first bracha
right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're saying it's
if you're supposed to make a
made a bracha, but he doesn't remember what he made.
Right. It's not which bracha.
So maybe that's make an eight.
Right.
I have a different option.
So
because the first
that's
one,
not good.
I was honest. I was distracted. I didn't want to do it. But now I'm doing it. But that
Okay. Fine. We got that in a second. Very good. Very good.
But you remember his case.
So Rabbi Kiva basically saying is that if you put the fruit down, you walk away, you have a bracha levatala. You make a second bracha, even if the first bracha was a good bracha, right? And now make another bracha, so again, you have bracha levatala again. But then you're eating the fruit. So you're always going to stay with one bracha levatala. Therefore, you go ahead and you make a bracha, sofik bracha shbahakal. That's if I made a bracha and I don't know which bracha I made. But if you didn't make, if you're not sure if you made a bracha at all, and now you have a fruit in front of you, you're not sure if you made a bracha, so now you don't have a bracha levatala, because maybe you never made a bracha. So you have a sofik bracha levatala. Therefore you leave it the way it is. Therefore, says Rabbi Kivega, you don't eat it, and sofik bracha is lahach.
If you're not sure if it's the right bracha you made.
What do you mean? You made a bracha, not sure if
you're not sure if it's
the same thing. If you make a bracha on something, and then you say, 1 second, is this how it's?
Right.
Is how dama is a mezainis? Right? Then you have the same thing, sofik brachas.
So you would not.
So according to Kivega, maybe but it wouldn't help. No, it wouldn't help, because if you, let's say you made, I'll give you an example, a granola bar, right? It's a machlokes. We'll get to it. Mezainis or hadama. It's either or. No, it's the pressed oats. Yeah. So the question is it still hadama or does it become a mezainis? Right? Mitchell, we'll get to it. So you went and you made a mezainis. You said, you know what? I'm not sure. Maybe you have to make hadama on this thing. So what should you do? Go make a hadama now? I don't know if Rabbi Kiva say you can make a hadama now, because you're not. Maybe mezainis is the right bracha. Kiva is saying you don't know which bracha you made.
Here you do know which one.
Here you do know which one you made. Here you do know which one.
You know if it's the right one.
Already at that point.
Right.
Just eat it at that point because you could be right already.
Yeah. So the truth is, in that case, if you make a mezainis, we'll see a lot of places can be yaitz, so you just eat it.
Just say, God, you'll understand.
That's why you always eat.
So we'll get to that.
Say that for everything you're going to be big trouble.
You know what I want to do.
So therefore, Rabbi Kiva says, if you go ahead and you're not sure if you made a bracha, then you're stuck. If you know for sure you made a bracha, but you're not sure if you made the right bracha or not, then he says, make another bracha and eat. make another bracha and eat. Not like we
Make it correct. Make it correct bracha.
Right.
Yeah, make it correct bracha.
Make it correct
Still don't know the
bracha.
right bracha.
No, then it's not going to help.
Double down and
When you
make
say,
it.
is that how we hold? When you see, when you're quoting Rabbi Kiva, is that how we hold?
I don't know, love that. We pass, we don't pass. Pashas, we don't pass on Kiva. We hold. Pashas, we hold.
Yeah.
Can we place the seven kind of Kiva at certain times?
Yeah, but
Yeah, Kiva is a one that they're not
what do we do? What is the average guy?
In most cases, most of the bar are going to pass in. There's a suffix if you made a bracha or not. Suffix bracha slahaka, and you don't make another bracha. You don't make another bracha. Yeah, that's accepted psak. The kivega is used in certain situations, but the accepted psak is suffix bracha slahaka. Fine, that's if you're not sure. Now, how about if I'm not sure which bracha to make? I'm not sure which bracha to make. So I want to go ahead. I want to make a bracha which I think is the right bracha. I think is the right bracha. So this will depend also in Rashi and the Ritva. The Shlomo Zalman explains. How does Rashi explain Birchas Haperetz? You're not stealing. Rashi holds you're stealing from Hashem the bracha. So what is the bracha? Says Shlomo Zalman, according to Rashi, the bracha is a bracha to thank Hashem. It's like a Birchas Haperetz, thanking Hashem for the food that He's giving us. It doesn't. If I eat it without the bracha, I'm not stealing, according to Rashi. Rashi said you're stealing the bracha. You're not stealing the food. So I'm thanking Hashem for the food that He gave us. That's what you're doing. A big kula would come out, according to Rashi, if I'm not sure which bracha to make. I tried, and I checked into it. I'm not sure. I checked into it. I know this place holds this way, and this place holds that way. What do I do? What do I do? According to the Rishon. 1 second. So you're saying make a shahakal and you eat everything. We'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
So
because that's the purpose, that you're just thanking God for something.
No, we'll get,
have a mind to thank God.
So we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to the shahakal.
But if you're thanking somebody for something, you should thank them specifically for the thing you're saying. If you go to your father who gave you a bicycle and you're saying, "Oh, thank you so much for this new shirt,"
right?
I mean, what kind of a thank you is that?
Fine. So it depends. So it depends. If you hold it to Birchas Haperetz, then you're not going to get any questions of Gzeila. Now forget about if you made a bracha or not, some brachas lahakal or not. If you're not 100% sure what bracha to make, and you'll make a mezainis, and maybe the bracha is really hadama, but you know there's a shaila about it, according to the Ritva, you're a gazlan. If you make the wrong bracha, it's Gzeila. You have to be much, much more careful, according to the Ritva, on which bracha you're making. According to Rashi, you're not a gazlan. So maybe you gave the wrong haidah to Hashem. It's not as bad. That's not as bad. According to Rashi, it's not as bad. Now, everyone's saying, what do you mean? You're very partial to Eitzah. Go into the shahaka mode, right? There's something called the shahaka mode. Shahaka, make a shahaka of everything and everything is fine.
There you go.
Right? The answer is that it's not true. If you have a suffix, on something, if it's a mezainis or adam, right? So what are you going to do? I'll make a shahakal. Then I'll be fine with everything. So the Eli Rabbi, in the beginning of Hilchos Brachos, comes to deal with those shahakal people. And he says like this.
That's when you end up in
Hi man, it says in Gemara Brachos, Hi man the boiler mevi chasida, the kayim mili de brachos. Someone who wants to be a chassid should be mekayim mili de brachos. The things of brachos. Says the Rabbi l'chayr tzemua. The mash misha loy kayim ma'isa, chassid loy mikri, avu rosh nami loy mikri. As much as someone is not mekayim brachos, he's not a chassid, but he's not a rasha. How could that be? If you're not making a bracha, you should be a rasha. Haksiv, chaver hu ish mashches. Someone doesn't make a bracha, is a chaver to an ish mashches, a person who destroys. Ela ratzaloi man, says the Eli Rabbi, what does the Gemara say? Shlo yismach ala klal she'amar shahakal yatsa. Don't go into shahakal mode. Don't say that, okay, shahakal, I'm yaitzer with everything. So the Rabbi, no, we don't do that. Ela mili de brachas levarach al kol min bracha shayach loy. What it means is you should mekayim mili de brachas, means you should make sure you're getting the correct bracha on everything that you're eating. And don't rely on shahakal. The Kosiv Mekisvei Hari Zelashainai Hapoited Atzma is a little bit of strong lashon, but I think it's good to read it. The Rabbi writes it. Hapoited Atzma Bricha Shahakal Harei ze bur shekelu chazal. Someone who goes ahead and goes to the shahakal mode is called a bur that chazal cursed him out. That means you can't go ahead and say, I'm not sure what the bracha is, shahakal, I'm zaynis or adama, I'll make a shahakal, I'll be fine. You can't do that. If it's a suffix, if it's a shahakal or something else, and you want to go with the shahakal because the person will hold that it's a shahakal, that's fine. But you can't go ahead and say, listen, I'm not sure what the bracha is, so then I'll be fine. I'll go ahead and I'll turn to shahakal. You can't do that. You have to make sure which bracha you're making. Especially according to the Rishonim that hold that it's stealing. Then you're for sure worse off. Because if you're stealing, you're for sure have to make the right bracha. So therefore he says, you can't go ahead and just rely on shahakal. Make sure you're getting the right bracha. The truth is, if you look in the Gemara in brachas, the Gemara says, it's a very interesting lashon Gemara. It says in the Gemara said before, Asla the Adam shehenim adam zebulei bracha, v'chol notnim adam zebulei bracha moal. You're doing mila. Try to Gemara maita kante. What's the takana? What should I do? Maita kante. Go make a bracha. Right, the Gemara says if you eat without a bracha, it's moal. So ask the Gemara, maita kante. What's the takana? What should I do? What should you do? Go ahead and make a bracha. What's the big deal?
I always thought that meant what is somebody supposed to do if they ate without a bracha and you didn't?
No,
is there a way to fix the situation?
Doesn't say that. No.
He said a shakal.
Maybe shakal mode. I don't know. It says in the Gemara if you didn't make a bracha more, what do you do? So it says yelech esel chacham. It says more yelech chacham my avidlei. What do you do for him? El amar rava. I guess the more like you learned. Okay. El amar rava yelech esel chacham meikaram v'yilamdenu brachas kadesh l'yavla de meila. Go to a chacham at the beginning. He should teach you which brachas to make. So the Gemara says to Kasha maita kante. What is maita kante? Make a bracha. Tells you the Gemara's question was maita kante. It's hard. So many different brachas. I don't know what bracha to make on what. So maita kante. What do you do about it? Says the Gemara, yelech a chacham, and you go work in it, and he'll help you out on what bracha to make on which thing.
Like in Hachanami it's hard, but
in Hachanami it's hard, you gotta go do it.
Learn.
You know,
you gotta do it.
Rabbi Silver, we have this Sunday shir, you know.
Right.
This brachas business, he goes over, I would say every year or two he goes over it. Because you think you know it and you forget about it.
Sure.
But you always forget it. You got to constantly go.
It's even harder.
You got to constantly
it's harder now.
Forget it.
Yeah, processed
back
food.
in the day it was easier. You had
processed food is very, very hard to know what bracha to make on it.
Sure.
And you see, each time when we get into the brachas, you see so many things you have to go through the ingredients. Before you make a bracha, forget about health issues.
What if you have mixed ingredients? You have the mezonos.
Yeah, so that's one thing, but you'd be surprised at so many things that you think it's a portion of the shahakal, and then you read the ingredients, there's wheat inside, there's flour inside. And wheat flour. Right? Yeah. There's so many things. Yeah, so many things that, I mean, I give this example all the time, and I ask this question to lots of people. There's a cereal called Corn Pops. Now most people make a mezainis on it. Cereals, they make a mezainis on it. Right? There's no flour in there. There's no flour in there. There's no reason why you should make a mezainis.
It's corn flour, I guess.
It's basically sugar. But besides that, there's also some the corn and stuff inside.
Yeah.
You look at it, it looks like a mezainis. It looks like a flour content. But it's not mezainis, it's not. It's anything that's a shahakal. Right? So there's so many things that we'll see that if you look at the ingredients, you'll see that whatever bracha you're making until now, it's
even more complicated because I have a bracha app here.
Right.
And it says, like, for instance, it's Kellogg's Corn Pops, right? It says, if it's made in the U.S., you say Bori Priyadamo. If it's made in Canada, you make shahakal.
Yeah. I'm saying, but what's the reason?
Who knew
but what's the reason why?
How do you know? Like, you don't know.
The reason
just shows you how
so you look at the ingredients.
Yeah.
And then there's a bracha achrona question too after that. But that's another.
No,
story.
that's shahakal. It's a mezainis. It's a alamich.
But he said the start case says you say one thing and then.
Yeah, we'll see.
The Customs Council of Canada says you make a different.
Yeah, even after.
On the same
I just have a
ingredients?
bracha app. The same product, but it's made in a different place. It's made a little bit different.
So we'll see in a chance. Go to the brachas. It gets processed food. Yeah, processed food gets very, very complicated. You got to look at the ingredients of processed food. So a lot of processed foods look like it's one bracha, and meantime it's another bracha.
That's why there's bread.
That's why there's bread.
That's a mental sense.
But then we'll see. But then we'll see.
Wash, you eat.
Wash have a whole meal there.
But then we'll see. Then we'll see that even bread is not so partial.
And there's wraps. And there's wraps.
Wraps. No, because bread is not so partial. Because let's say someone's sitting down at the whole meal, right? Sitting at the whole meal, they say, "Oh, I have so many brachas, I don't know what to do. You know what? I'm going to wash and eat a small piece of bread." Right? Even if you eat a kazayas. Even if you eat a kazayas of bread, right?
Yeah.
What's the reason why you don't make a bracha on everything in the Suda when you wash?
Because it's tough to the bread.
Because everything is a tuffle to the bread. It used to be a Suda was bread.
Yeah.
And everything was added to the bread.
Yeah.
If a person is going to sit down, which I don't have an answer to this, and I don't think I have an answer even after we finish all the shiurim. You go to a chasana. Right? You go to a chasana, and I couldn't just remember.
We talked about that.
Yeah, I don't understand. You go to a chasana, and they sit down, they serve your whole meal. In the middle of the table, there's little rolls to be yaitze. They're called not hamoitzi rolls, I call them hayoitze rolls. They're meant to be yaitze. They're meant to be yaitze. You wash yaitze design. So you had a little piece of hamoitzi, and now you eat a whole suda. Nothing in that suda is a tuffle to the bread.
Right.
Nothing. So how can you go ahead and not make a bracha on everything?
The same with some shalosh shudas.
So it's also, yeah. You eat a little thing.
Smaller
If
roll.
your shalosh is a sandwich, then
You have to have a kazayas.
All you get is a roll.
But it's not, to go ahead and say that you can't do that, it's very hard to say because that's what everyone does. But if someone is sitting down by himself to a meal and he's not sure which brachas to make, he says, you know what? I'm going to go wash, take a piece of bread, and take my brachas. It's also not such a good answer. Because
that's the best solution there is.
Yeah, but the truth is, it's a shallow then if it's tougher to the bread. People say by chasnas, the mice by chasnas, you're meant to wash, it's mitzvah, so it's meant to wash, so that's why everything's a tougher to the bread.
What's not
a chasana is a sudas mitzvah. Sudas mitzvah you're supposed to wash. Right. So that's what they say. The washing really is the main part of the suda.
And everything else is a secondary.
Yeah, because you're supposed to wash. It's sudas mitzvah. If you're sitting down to your house to eat a supper, it's not a sudas mitzvah. There's no reason why you should wash. You wash it because you want to pot the brachas. Is that tough? Shabbos is different.
Right.
Anytime you have a sudas mitzvah you're supposed to wash, you can still have that heter that the main part of the suda is the bread because you're supposed to wash. Shabbos especially, you have a chiyuv to wash. But if you're not a sudas mitzvah, no chiyuv to wash, you're sitting down in your house to go ahead because you don't know a bracha to make, and you're washing just not to make brachas.
No, you can't.
No.
I don't know. Why is the problem that the food is not tafel to the bread? Because on the other hand, we hold that everything is tafel to the mezonas even. And the mezonas, we don't look how much quantity. Say mezonas is never tafel, right?
No, it's not tafel. Here's different. A mezonas is if you have a mixture.
Right.
In the mixture, the mezonas is the most chashuv.
Okay.
But not it's tafel. If you have, some people hold, if you have a piece of herring with a kichel, if you have a herring with a piece of kichel, a lot of places hold they make a charcoal, you know that?
On what?
Charcoal.
Charcoal. If you have a herring with a kichel.
Yeah.
And now the kichel is only a way.
Kichel's tough.
Way to hold the
herring because there's no toothpicks. How do you hold the herring with the kichel?
Like a fork.
Yeah. So a lot of places hold they make a charcoal on that. You don't make a mezonis on the kichel.
But even if you have a bread with the herring.
Yeah. But it's the bread.
That's the one exception.
Have a l'chaim, you say charcoal, and you take that kichel and piece of herring, and you
Some people hold you don't make a mezonis. I'm not saying everybody holds that way.
Not you.
No, but you don't have to.
Is he not you?
No, you don't have to. You made chocolate already on the...
Some
go
people.
straight to the herring.
Not you. Some people. Not talking to you.
Where guys will wash, make brachas on everything they eat.
Yeah?
Are they out of bounds or no?
Because it's a tough. It's not tough.
That's not.
Yeah,
what you said before is it's not definitive because it's a suda mitzvah that you get away with the washing. It doesn't sound like that's how we hold.
No, that's some people hold that way. Some people say the reason why by chassan is...
I've gone to weddings where guys have sat there, they'll make a bracha on everything they eat.
After washing. You ever hear that? You never heard that.
I never said it to the bracha, right?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I heard when you eat the herring.
He didn't say they're wrong.
Falls in the law and serves him a meal. And there's not a piece of bread inside.
Right. Which bracha do they make first?
I want to see which brachas you're going to do.
Yeah.
Is it a bracha of Atala then if they're baking bracha after they wash?
No, lav dafka. If they hold it's not tough to the bread, it's not bracha of Atala.
Which person? Nobody you know. So don't worry.
Are you shooting at a guy or rather Joe?
How many brothers is?
We're in Metzorah.
Where's the hat?
I never ever heard that before.
You should know, another example of brachas, there's only 2 brachas b'chlal that are in the Torah.
That what?
2 brachas. No.
That what?
No bracha, but I'm saying a din bracha. There's only 2 dinei brachas that you see in the Torah. One is after you eat, benching. How much does it say in the Torah? How much do we say is a svara? And brichas Torah. The only 2 brachas that are midaraisa, that are from the Torah, is benching and brichas Torah. Only 2 brachas.
That's why I read somewhere that you should bench with kavod. People dumb shemines. Benching is more important than shemines.
Bench with
I
kavod.
heard the question once, exactly that. What is the difference between Shemona Esrei and benching? Benching, you sit down. Shemona Esrei, you're standing up. That's the only, you should have the same kavana, you should have the same...
Also, you can't talk during Shemona Esrei.
No, you shouldn't talk during, that's the whole point. You shouldn't,
Yeah,
during like medal, you shouldn't talk now.
Brichas Hamazon is deraisa.
Exactly. Medal, so how you doing?
Brichas Hamazon is deraisa. The Minchas Chinuch says, if someone wants to have parnasa, what should he do? You should bench with kavana.